Hello and welcome back to the cronecast at the Rising Moon. My name is Elaine, and on this channel I do the Spirit Guide Monthly, live every last Friday of the month. But I also do this, I do pick a card readings, and today's pick a card is Who's Jealous of Me? Who Envies Me? We have 5 piles and a pick a card. There's going to be a moment here where you can take some time, concentrate on the cards, see which one really calls out to you. That'll be the message you're most meant to receive. Take a moment, concentrate. I will see you at the time of your reading. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 1, then this is your reading. We're putting the number 1 over there so we can easily fast forward to the reading. We're going to save that towards the end to see what kind of closing message it has for us. I did shuffle for those, but I'm not sure how they're going to pertain to the reading yet. I believe that's the Mists of Avalon inspiration cards. Here we go. Let's get going for pile number 1. We're taking an 8-card spread with potential 9th card qualifier. Who is jealous of pile number 1? Who's jealous of pile number 1? Who envies pile number 1? And I wonder why. Okay. We have the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. I have the Page of Pentacles in reverse as well. Okay, well, it looks like it could be a former partner with that 10 of Pentacles in reverse, or it could be somebody who you've worked with in the past with that 10 of Pentacles in reverse. The 10 of Pentacles in the upright is a card of security, of long-term partnership. It can be a card of family as well. In reverse like that, it's kind of a machine that doesn't work any longer. It's a card for confusion. It's a card for disruption. Could be somebody that you left behind with that Page of Pentacles in reverse, which is sometimes learning a difficult lesson. We have the King of Pentacles in the upright. A lot of pentacles on this. So somebody is envying you good fortune, it would appear. King of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, but it can be a person of business. It can also be somebody who works in a practical concern in the 3D, like a banker or a teacher. Can be a doctor sometimes. The Ace of Swords in reverse, this looks like a former partner. That's cutting ties with somebody. It's either a friendship or a former relationship. With the Death card in reverse, which is closure. I have the Page of Wands in the upright, which is exciting new beginnings, creativity, enthusiasm as well. 9 of Wands in reverse is that kind of the battle that you knew better than to engage in. It's basically a ceasefire type of energy. In the upright, that card is the card of the Wounded Warrior. Somebody feels like they lost a battle to you with the 2 of Swords in reverse as well. Taking like I said, 5 Pentacles in the upright. Okay, well, it's somebody that you rejected, somebody that you left behind. Is it a romantic relationship? I don't even have 1 cup on this. I don't. So I don't think it's business competition, but it appears to be a former partner. It could be in business or it could be in romance. Whoever they were, man, do they value money. Like all of the pentacles all over the place, this is being left out in the cold as basically the conclusion on this. They seem to, this is a victim's card. This is somebody who's kind of stuck in their victimhood. Somebody feels like they lost a great deal because of you. The Ace of Swords I often view as a card about divorce. But I have the thing that's giving me pause and making me the tiniest bit nervous is that it's by the time, if it was a romantic relationship, by the time you parted ways, this person had already kind of checked out emotionally. They may never have really been checked in with this particular vibe, meaning that they may have been somebody who married for security, for somebody to keep things organized, that kind of thing. It does happen. The Athlete card is a dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, developments of personal willpower, strength, and spirit. The Shadow attribute is misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. I think that the reason this particular person is jealous of you is they think that you possess things that are rightfully theirs. Have they learned anything? Well, I don't think their own new beginnings, I don't think this was their, I do think it was a breakup of sorts. If it was a business relationship, it's one where you cut the ties, you walked away, and you went on in your own successful energy. There's been closure afterwards, but their path afterwards, this person's path, is that like anything that they tried to get to take hold, it didn't flourish. This is the battle you can't win, the battle you don't engage in. Everything has become clear to them, potentially about how they treated you. So it's interesting, the athlete is that kind of go-getter energy as well. It is the energy of somebody who can get almost anything done and is very physically vigorous. Sorry about that, I had to pause for a moment to deal with the dog situation. But this is a very physically vigorous energy. I think that Virgin, we have maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. The shadow attribute is fear of intimate union. Here's kind of what I've got. Whoever you were in their life, you made things function for them. But by the time things were parting, like I think they see you now differently than when you first parted. Because this Five of Pentacles is being left out in the cold. I think at first they were like, yay. Page of Pentacles, page in reverse, page in the upright. Remember, these cards won't want to relate in this type of spread. Even though I don't think it was their idea, I think that they were not upset necessarily. Like, this was not a heartbreaking thing for them. They're like, yeah, hey, fine, I don't want that person anymore anyway. Like, there's a coldness to this particular energy. It's a person who, this fear of intimate union is what I've got on them. They've got their own issues. After everything, I think they were like, I'm so glad that's done. Death card in reverse is something is dead and over. And like, they were kind of like, yay, as they launched, thinking, my life has been reinvigorated. And it has not worked out for them at all. They might have actually gotten quite sick because the Five of Pentacles in the upright is a card of ill health. But they're like, they have no sanctuary any longer. And they are jealous of you because fear. Oh, that's the Five of Pentacles energy too. Boy, they have a lot of anxiety, a lot of economic anxiety. Do they blame you? Maybe. Doubt, fear and doubt. They are jealous of your certainty, of your vigorous energy, of your ability to keep going. Everything they thought they were going to be doing, they have been watching you do. Things have become clear to them. Do they have regrets on this? It appears they do with that Five of Pentacles energy. I'm going to keep going on this to see what's coming up with this. It's interesting because this person is no longer bitter. And at first, honest to goodness, I think they were like, thank goodness, there goes that millstone around my neck energy. But over the course of time, they realized that you weren't the millstone, you were the mill. Like, you kept everything running, you kept everything going. Any good luck that they had apparently was very tied to you. They are jealous of you, they are envious of you. I'm very interested to find out what they might be doing about it. Forgiveness. That is, honest to goodness, where I thought we might be going with this. I'm going to keep going with some more cards here because this person has gone full circle. They just have. It starts out here where they're angry and they're blaming you. This kind of unfair energy of the Ace of Swords in reverse where like ties are cut, harsh words are spoken. Like they slammed a door afterwards and thought they were very, very glad that, you know, that door was slammed. But like nothing works. This Nine of Wands in the upright, the Nine of Wands is a triumph over adversity card, but it's the triumph comes later. It's the Wounded Warrior card. It is the adversity card, being on your guard, being well protected. They feel very unprotected, and it has become clear to them that it was actually your kind of discernment that allowed them to have things work out. They've had a lot of doubt and a lot of fear in the time since you've parted. But this is a, like, you know, who's jealous of you, who envies you. They envy you a certainty, but they want to be forgiven. Slow and steady, hot and cold. Like I said, they probably third-party interference. That is something. Important conversation, ghosted, and I want one more, generous offer. Listen, I don't think you're done with this particular person. I'm not sure I trust them. I'm not got terrible cards on them, but I'm a keyword reader, meaning that like the keywords on this, like fear, doubt, forgiveness. Slow and steady, hot and cold, third-party interference, important conversation, ghosted, generous offer. It's like they want to be brought in from the cold here, because this is being left out in the cold. Their motives, considering the, you know, nature of this reading, are maybe not the best. Meaning, do they want back in because I realize the error of my ways and I see your value? Or do they want access to this ability of discerning? That's that Two of Swords in reverse, which is a clear and open psychic eye. There is not a cup on this table. There just isn't. We've got pentacles galore and swords and wands. And the only water energy I have is the death card, and it's in reverse. This person is cold to the bone when you get right down to it. But if they thought they were the master of their own fate and that you were the thing tying them down, they have long since understood they were the person who was perhaps driving an effort, but you were the person making it work. I have Destiny of the Lotus Hope Blossom, love blessings, that's the house in the background, good luck. They are envious of everything that you have, basically, and prosperity, divinely timed prosperity. They see for you a future that they had thought was going to be theirs. Honestly, I have this really weird feeling where I think they thought you were the person who was just going to crash and burn without them. That they were like, let's see how they do without me. And it's so money-centric here with all of these pentacles that I think they thought it had to do with your ability to provide for yourself. That they really, honest to goodness, thought that they were the person that made absolutely everything work. So who is jealous of you? It is a former partner, and it could be a romantic partner, but as I said, the only thing here that gives me any pause on that is it's like this person is missing the ability to feel, genuinely, because everything comes down to dollars and cents. They might have had a fondness for you that they may not be a person who can fall in love. Like they genuinely might have something a little bit missing in there, because I have no compassion. Like they're just this cold, very cut and dried person. And I think they really did think that you were going to be an utter failure without them. This is a card of failing. This can be a card of failing. But you have not been. We have twists and turns. Honest to goodness, major life change. I want one more on this. Reflection. I'm a keyword reader. These paragraphs never have a tendency to make any sense. Luck, personal riches, jealousy. So, all right, so why are they envious of you? Because apparently your world did not cease when they ceased to be a part of your world. They have had, I think, with that twist and turns, kind of like multiple cycles with this. Like when they've had, I don't know how long this has been, but it's like their fortunes have gone all over the place with this twists and turns. They've had some like ability to be introspective, and they, honest to goodness, I think that they went from thinking that you were the millstone around their neck to thinking you were their good luck charm. I don't know if it's, I plucked the golden goose that was mine type of energy, but there's a little bit of that. There's this little kind of, the energy around this is somebody who has helping others and mentors. I have the strangest energy that people kind of don't like them and they do like you. That like you're somebody who's a little bit looked up to. And I think that at this point, they're a little looked down on. And they know it. Now, there's no rage or anger. And like I'm glad to report, this jealousy there's no retribution vibe with this. They're plotting to do wrong by you. Materialism, well, yes. Intellectual matters. Soulmate can just meet friends in this with renewed faith, and I want one more joyful times. Well, they kind of want back into your life. They kind of want back into your life. They are not trying to sabotage you. They are not trying to sabotage you. They may have had, this is card of ill health again, like I said, they may have had some ups and downs in their personal fortunes in multiple areas. And they did. They thought that you were the thing holding them back, and then they realized over the course of time, all along, you were the thing holding them up. Apparently, they see how people react to you and how you are treated and how you are received as this very authentic person. And like people don't react well to their story either. Like whenever they try and talk about what happened, like they tried to put it in this very off-putting way. And it kind of, this is like an alienation card as well. They feel a little bit alienated, potentially from their own family. Death, a time of natural transition and transformation, dragonfly. Have confidence during this time of great joy, renewal, and connection to spirit. Goals, of course, it was going to be about money. So here's the deal. They think you're going to be rich. They think you're going to be rich. I don't know what it is that you do. I don't know if you're good with investments, but they think that your discernment is something that, like, you're a go-getter and you're going to get things done. It is very likely like I said, they've gone back and forth, slow and steady, hot and cold, third-party interference, important conversation, ghosted. Honest to goodness, it feels like they were really into somebody and that person looked a little deeper into this person and they pieced out on him. And did it have to do with something they did to you? I don't know. I don't have any like unscrupulous vibes here. This person's super all about money. I don't know if they did anything at the dissolution of potentially a business partnership. If it's a business partnership, you went on and did fine. And like everything that they've done has curdled and just basically failed. And I mean everything. There is just not, it's like their garden can only grow weeds. We have the mystic circles, your abilities will be enhanced. And then the spider, be meticulous and patient. Okay, so here's the thing. This person, there are multiple indications that they think that you are just going to do so well. And they have not done well. If anything, like they're scraping together money out of like, couch cushions sometimes to try and get things done. They, honest to goodness, think that if they could have the benefit of your experience and of your eye and of your discernment, that things would get back on track for them. Like they've identified, something has become clear to them, they've identified the ways in which you were the person who made everything work. The twists and turns made your life change. Honest to goodness, I think they believed that upon the end of a relationship with you, and I cannot tell if it's a personal or a professional relationship. I just can't. There's not enough anything to indicate. Like if this was a marriage, oh my God, this person viewed you like a commodity. But they see you differently now. Do they see themselves differently as in like, hey, maybe I wasn't the best person? Well, they don't like their consequences. They don't like a lot of things that have happened to them. Like I said, they lose more than they gain. Purity of heart and spirit. Dedication to like, here's the thing. I don't know I don't know what the deal is here, but for whatever reason they thought you were a liability, and over the course of time they realized that you were their greatest asset. And they have genuine jealousy, though. They genuinely have, like, here's why I'm hesitating a little bit. Like, it really looks like this person is gonna, like, be like, hey, I want to make amends. I realized I made a mistake. I should not have treated you that way. Over the course of time, it has become clear to me. Like, it's like they want to mend a bridge. But there's the amount of sincerity in the bridge is like they want to be able to utilize you like a tool. They just want to be able to utilize you like a tool. I guess ask yourself if there's any, particularly if this is a business relationship, is there a benefit to having access to this person's connections? Because I think they've also figured out if they were to mend their relationship with you, their stock would go up, because their stock has done nothing but go down. And it might be in all ways. Like, we might be talking about literal stock here, because this person initially blamed you for, like, losses. And they've been on their own long enough that, like, their dire predicament over here, because it's a slightly dire predicament, like, honest to goodness, I don't normally see this card as a card of homelessness because it's normally a church. But in the background on this Five of Pentacles is actually obviously a home. It's padlocked against this person. And it's like I don't want to say they're facing homelessness, but I really get this pauper's energy around them. Where, like, you know, when it's $2 Taco Tuesday, they're like, yay, I get to go out this week. They really, honest to goodness, have come to a point where they have run through whatever it is they have. So I've got this poverty vibe around them. I have the love of your dragon reaches out to you. The realm of your truth is opening up. Is it appropriate to call this person like a perilous connection? Well, you can't trust them. That's the only thing. Now, are they duplicitous? No. I do not have the Devil card. I do not have the Seven of Swords. I do not have any of the cards that are like, do not leave that person alone with your wallet. But what I do have is this cold energy where everything is about money. But it does appear that they are trying to figure out a way to have access to the luck that you brought to them. As I said, they went from thinking that you were their biggest liability to understanding you were the thing that if they ever had gains, you were the reason. Like they've gone absolutely full circle. The value that they put in you is just so mercenary. It's just so mercenary. And that's honestly what I've got with this person. Just a mercenary vibe. Angel of Love, which is a self-love card. I have the Archangel Metatron, Journey. They think you're psychic, dude. The Temple Path, and then Angel of Balance. They want back in like crazy because they think you're psychic. You might be, by the way. These are two cards of psychic. This person, if they thought they were, they know full well they're not. Because all they've done is lose money. They might have gotten really sick, too. There's something about this where, like, there's just this entirely... Is that why they had to reevaluate? It's almost like they had a threat to their welfare entirely. Because you can read the past, present, and future in all spreads. So the past here and the present and the future, they don't like anything about this. They don't like anything about this. This is an interesting vibe. Former partner in their business or romantic envies you the fact, I guess, that your success. If you're saying, hey, I'm really not that successful, it may be with how other people view you. Because this person, like, it's like they just can't make things work. They can't make things work. The fear, doubt, and forgiveness. I just have such an alienated vibe around this person. I wish I could get a little bit more information on what they're planning to do going forward. This could be my best bet for that. Let's go back to our Spellcasters Tarot. And I just want to, what are they planning on doing here? Because it looks like they're planning on taking action. Here's the thing. Remember the nature of this reading. We're asking who's jealous of you, who envies you. Now, is jealousy always fatal? No. Sometimes we can be, envious of our friends while still being pleased for them. So a lot of times jealousy is not like, I don't think you should get that, but rather, oh, great for you. What about me? Like you end up feeling left out. And it can, you have to try and overcome a feeling of jealousy. Let's go. What are they planning on doing here? I'm going to check this Avalon card here in a moment. I'll be fascinated to see what it has on the back of it. 6 of Swords in the upright, with 7 of Swords in reverse, and then the Lovers in reverse as well. This is a rescue card. It can be leaving a different situation behind. It's a ghosted card as well. It's one of the few literal death cards, but it has to come out with a bunch of other ones for it to mean literally death. Why? Because they're on the rubber sticks in most depictions. 7 of Swords in the upright is lies, deceit, manipulation, but in the reverse like that, it's not getting away with something or it's clarity. It can be strategy as well. Listen, if they come back towards you to try and be friends, know that only do it if you think it is advantageous to you as well. And I mean, did they have skills that might be helpful to you? Because there's no emotional underpinning on this particular figure. If they come back and they say, I'm so sorry I hurt you, I realize I was wrong, the sorry that they are is they're sorry that they're broke. Never be afraid to voice your truth, as truth comes from a deep place within your soul. They have seen the truth of what went on in a situation with you. And if they thought that they were the victim, the reception that they have had in multiple quarters has taught them, oh no, I'm viewed as the villain. And they did not know that was going to happen. But they've also had multiple losses, including, I think of somebody who ghosted them after they got some more information about them. Okay? So group number 1, former partner, either business or relationship. I'm so torn on that one. My sense is it's a divorce. But like I said, couldn't find love at all. So your best shut of that particular person. If you allow them to come back with that forgiveness vibe, forgive for yourself. But if you allow them back into your life, make sure it's for your advantage, because they're going to try and mine you for gold. Okay? Take care. Be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 2, this is your reading. Let's put the number 2 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading. But there will be timestamps in the description box down below. We're going to get this at the end of the reading. I did shuffle for them. They're from the, I think, Mists of Avalon Inspiration deck. Let's get going for pile number 2. Who is envious of them? Who is jealous of them? Hey guys, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. Okay, let's go. 1 and 2 and 3. This is the Dragon's Tarot. And it's a little bit slippery because it's brand new. This is the first official read with this. All right, let's get going. Who is envious of pile number 2? I have the Chariot in the upright. Now that can be the astrological sign Cancer. It can also be somebody in business, because that is one of the best cards for business. It's one of the cards for success. With the 10 of Cups in the upright, could be somebody in your family, actually. Huh, interesting. This is the fulfillment card. This is the family card. It's the life partner card. I love the color scape on all of these cards. It's absolutely lovely. Of course, all the figures will be depicted as dragons. Here we go. And then this is the 9 of Swords, which is fears. It's cruelty. It's like not sleeping well. We're taking a 9-card spread on this, by the way. 3 of Swords in the upright, which is heartbreak and despair and grief. Could be somebody who you broke their heart. Could be somebody in your family that you left behind. I have the 4 of Pentacles in the upright, which is a miser's energy. And this is one of the few times that I see it as a miser's energy. This is why, because dragons guard gold. It's holding on to something. It comes out with the Judgment card in the upright. This really feels like a family member. And then I have the Five of Wands in reverse, which is peace, like no longer engaging. This could be somebody you cut ties with. Six of Cups in the upright, which is a relationship sometimes from childhood. It's nostalgia, it's the past. It can be generosity as well. And then it comes out with the Ace of Swords in reverse. If it is a family member, it is somebody that you do not speak to for your own well-being. What they envy you is, I think, like your ability to kind of just keep going. Like it's like nothing breaks your stride for very long. They, I think, envy you. Okay, we have Destiny of the Lowest Hope Blossom, this thing that kind of leapt already. This Nine of Swords and this Three of Swords is interesting to me because that's like grief and pain. And if you cut ties with somebody, particularly from your family member, I don't get the feeling it's a sibling, by the way. It's like it could be your mom, it could be an aunt. There's a decidedly feminine vibe with some of this, but they feel judged by being left behind. And they envy, like, it's like they covet you versus envy you. Like you were part of their collection or something. It's weird because there's not like a narcissist vibe with this, but there's this possessive energy. They viewed you as like they could treat you as they wished because you would never do what you eventually did, which was like, get out of here, I'm not talking to you any longer. And so they are envious of anyone who has contact with you. The Three of Swords energy, they really feel very heartbroken and potentially a little confused. Kundalini rising and then blocked partnership. I'm telling you, you said like, bye, we're done. You had some kind of awakening. That's that Judgment energy. That is being things brought to light. That is the epiphany energy. It's the life's purpose energy as well. They just, you gave up on something having to do with them. I think that it was very, very warranted. Because, honest to goodness, I think they did this to you. That they just, it's like they were intentionally cruel to you sometimes. Like maybe they took their feelings out on you. Could this be a partner? Yes, it could be a partner. But like I said, I've got this, it's not a sibling because they viewed themselves as superior. They just viewed themselves as superior. They did. Yeah, I think that they were like injurious to you. Like they used anger to say as an excuse to say whatever the heck they felt like. They envy you potentially. They envy other people access to you because they don't have any. They don't have any access to you in this draw. It's like you're not there. Let's get going. Let's get a fortune card on this too. Who is this person? What are they envying you? They're not envying you a thing. They are envious of you. They wish to, like, you're theirs as far as they're concerned. Now, could it be a romantic partner? Yeah, it could. It could. But there's this definitive, like, when you were done, you were done. And the reason I don't think it's a romantic partner, and potentially it's a parent, is the Six of Cups energy with this Three of Swords. We have air, seeking union of mind and spirit. You don't talk to them. The energy of air is mental energy. And then the raven, darkness looms on the horizon. And then you will receive news from afar. Are you going to hear from this person? I don't think so. I don't think so. I have this black and white energy. Like they were cutting and cruel with their words. Like you learned not to say much in response to them. If this was a romantic partner, Like, you became like the football that they liked to kick type of thing. They just took their feelings out on you because they didn't think you had any recourse. And it looks to me like eventually you were like, you know what? I do. I wouldn't let a friend remain in my life if they were treating me like this, so you're not going to stay here either. You developed, we have pioneer. There's this kind of like, you know, trailblazing, heading away from things energy. Passion for doing and creating what has not been done before, and the shadow attribute is compulsive need to keep moving on. They think you're very, very special, and they envied you. It's almost like, you know how the children of narcissists, like sometimes they will feel like they're competing with their children, but the children don't know it. All they know is that they're being abused, like they're being spoken to unkindly. It takes that form. And I think they thought you were very special and they were very, very proud of you, but there's this weird possessive energy. Like anything you accomplished was only worthwhile if they got to tell other people about it. We have mediator, which is, you're not tying this person. We have gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal relationships and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. The shadow attribute is negotiating with an ulterior motive, a hidden agenda, either personally or professionally. Here's the thing. They scheme. Like they scheme, trying to figure out what they could do to bring about a different result, because like it's like they know you have a good heart because they used to hurt it on purpose. And is this person sinister? No, they just look complicated and damaged and like they didn't do their own work. We have trust. There's such a poisonous energy to this person. Like if you walked into the room in a good mood and they were in a bad mood, then that was like, you know, covering yourself in bacon grease and jumping into a bear den. They were just tearing you to shreds for no reason. They viewed you as like almost their personal whipping boy. Forgiveness, that one came out on the last one too. Loneliness, and then courage. Listen, are you done here? I don't know. Like I don't think they're going to reach out. But this trust, forgiveness, and loneliness, I don't know what that means because I don't have contact going forward. And I think that's good. But this mediator energy is almost like they might try and get like a second to come towards you. If we're talking about a family, and this is like the poisonous aunt or mom that I'm picking up, then they might have another family member like try and pitch their cause, or they're going to try and have the last word somehow. Remember that part. They're going to try and have the last word somehow, because I believe they used to manipulate you through guilt. Like you were this very trusting person, and they just, judgment. They're very afraid of the judgment of others, by the way. If it's a parent, like the fact that they have an estranged child and like you're not in jail or something makes it obvious that maybe they did something wrong and they don't like that part. I don't know what they did. I don't know what they did other than being incredibly cruel to you. They caused you to cry a great deal. Loss issues. Cool, calm, and collected. Meditation, moderation, and self-control. Soulmate, I want one more on this. Karmic bond. Here's what I've got in this person. They had stormy moods. And when they got into a mood, they took it out on you. And you, I think, for a very long time, were just this trusting and good soul. And did they know that about you? I think so. I think so. I think that they were actually quite aware of it. But they also, as the world is very uncertain around them, they don't like the way it makes them look. Like there's something around how they are perceived here that bothers them. They may be very, very image conscious. And particularly since I've got it kind of a likely family member that you left in the dust. And for good reason, by the way. Like if you're watching this and you're like, oh, I didn't realize they had regret. Please do not mistake this for regret. This is like somebody stewing. Here we go. Soul helper energy is the time of guilt and shame ends now. I'm telling you, they used to control you with that. The time of guilt and shame ends now. Forgive yourself and begin to love yourself just as you are. This person tried to make you question who you were a lot. I'm telling you, it has to be a caretaker when you were a kid. It just kind of has to be. And by the way, if that's not, like, if that doesn't describe you, this is not your pile. That's how that would work. Sometimes general readings don't have a message for everybody. Maybe another pile. But this particular pile is about somebody with a toxic parent or caretaker that eventually they just drew the darn line in the sand and said, no more. And here's the thing. The fact that you have not budged, I think just, they don't know what to do with that. They feel the shame energy. They used to, well, okay, we have regained balance. Like I said, they want to reacquire you somehow. And they're planning on having the last word somehow. They're just planning on having the last word somehow with this news from afar energy. Like it's like they're going to make an attempt to make you feel guilty once more. I don't know if it's as they leave this earth, they're going to leave you a bunch of money or what the heck it is. But if they do that, please know that you weren't in the wrong. Because for all that they're like upset with how they're viewed and that they no longer get to view you as a possession, they were proud of you and you didn't know that part. Regain balance, heartbreak, push and pull energy. Meaningful coincidence is I'm a keyword reader, so I take a lot of these. Listen to your intuition. I feel like you've been getting signs as well. Like you know that there's a resolution coming, but don't ever waver. Like, don't let me make your decisions for you, but please don't waver on this because this person was intentionally poisonous to you. If you have wondered like, oh, well, maybe there's a mood disorder, maybe no, like maybe, they totally knew. Like it would be pointed out to them. Other people said that they were too hard on you. And they heard it a lot. And they didn't heed it. And how do I know that? It's quite simply, this is the not heeding something, this is not engaging. The judgment of others, they did not heed. So, like, they kind of knew that you were probably increasingly distant from them. I'm going to get a couple of energy cards. What's coming up with this? Is anything coming up with this, please? Dying to see what's underneath our Avalon card at this point. This is just a poisonous relative. They controlled you by trying to make you feel ashamed. The Kundalini rising is that connection to spirit, that enlightenment with the destiny of the Lotus Hope Blossom. Honest to goodness, I think they believe this pioneer energy. Like maybe you're somebody who people are going to notice somehow. And they don't want this to be what other people learn about them. They're just very, very image conscious. The Temple Path, Angel of Balance over and over again. Appreciation, this is you don't know what you've got until it's gone energy. Storm warning, I want one more on that woman holding a coin. Listen, so what's going to happen here is I think you end up, when they depart this existence, and there is something beyond that, beyond this, so remember that part. When they depart this existence, I really feel like they are going to try one last time to make you feel guilty by being super generous. Like that's the thing that they're hoping to leave this. It's a slightly spiteful energy because this is a spiteful energy. Like they're hoping to leave you with the mother of all paper wounds on your heart, where you're like, oh, it's too late, and I shouldn't have done that. Like they want to I think they're trying to rehab their image with everybody else too. Because if they're the soul of generosity towards you after they're gone, then that just makes you look like the ungrateful so-and-so. And honest to goodness, I don't think that's what happened. I think you took it until you just couldn't take it anymore and you peaced out. And that you, like, it ultimately, the blocked partnership, you're like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just done. Planning. I'm telling you. Whatever they have, And with that weird dragon's energy, like they hoard things, so who knows. Whatever they have, when they leave, romance, travel. I'm a keyword reader on these. Romance can just be love. And then I want one more. Like they talk very pitifully to people too, because they like sympathy. So here's the thing though, like they have to be very careful because it's like other people tweak to, like I said, there's this energy where people told them that they were way too hard on you and they just wouldn't heed it. Reflection, which is contemplation, property, opportunities. Hey, group number 2. This appears to be a relative, potentially a caretaker. I've got a slightly feminine energy here. It could be masculine. It could be. Whoever it was, they were just plain old-fashioned cruel to you on a regular basis. And I have this feeling of it was like, you just kind of never knew when it was coming. Like you just never knew when it was coming. They were a very volatile person to be around. And they really played on guilt and shame and telling you that you weren't good enough. And that it's because they're jealous of multiple things in you. You honestly, it was an easy way to control you. It was just an easy way to control you. And they're a very controlling person. Here's the thing. It appears that they may be planning to leave you some of their dragon's gold when they depart. Understand that they are doing that to have the last word. They are obsessed with how other people view them. I don't have a narcissist card on that, which is the King of Cups in reverse. But they're very... They don't want to be talked about. And they feel like they are already. And it's because it's almost like something began to mount around this guilt and shame. The thing that they tried to lob at you is now like consuming them. Like they're very ashamed of the fact that you don't have contact. Anyway, what it looks like is that at the end of their life, they're very likely to be very generous to you, whenever that might be. And it is so that they can end up smelling like a rose where you look like the stuff that fertilized it, is their plan. Is that they think that's the one way to get back at you. Don't let it be. Everything on that table said that you were right to. Heal through changing your story. Begin in this moment and don't look back. I knew this was the right deck to use. Even though it's not about people. I knew that was it. You have no reason to regret your actions. Even when the sound of gold coins jingle as that person departs this earth, and make sure that you have reason to question yourself and your judgment again. Remember, they're doing it so that they end up looking like the good guy and you look like the bad guy after they're gone, okay? That was pile number 2. Take care. Be well. Welcome back. If you chose pile number 3, this is your reading. We're putting the 3 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading. There will be timestamps in the description box down below, though. That is the Mists of Avalon inspiration cards, and they're not normally about people, but I really just felt like they were the right one to use for this particular reading, and we will reveal it at the end because it seems to be containing messages that will kind of wrap things up. And so far it's going really well, so I understand why I was called to it. We are using the Gilded Tarot for your predictive spread. Who is envious of pile number 3? Who's jealous of pile number 3? Before I get started, pile number 3, hey, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. Hey, let's go. Who is jealous of pile number 3? Queen of Swords in reverse. Well, that's a rival. Okay. With the 6 of Swords in reverse as well. Something from the past. You blocked them on something. Ace of Wands. Wow, this person's mad. Wow. Ace of Wands in reverse with the Moon in the upright. I have the Hanged Man in reverse. We're getting all these down, man. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Holy moly. With the Star in the upright, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Cups in the upright. This appears to be somebody who thinks you were their romantic rival, or everything that they want comes to you. So here's somebody who is just honked off, cheesed off, cannot be appeased. The air energy of Libra, Gemini, Aquarius surrounds all these swords. It's like they feel like you blocked them from something and made them feel very powerless. Their intuition, I don't understand why they're so angry with you about that. I don't understand that, but it's like they don't have a lot of clarity of thought right now. The Hanged Man in reverse is taking a new perspective on things. They lost something because of you, because of the Wheel of Fortune, or they think they did. The Star in the upright is like that. It can be the card for the astrological sign Aquarius. And in fact, this person might be an Aquarius because the Queen of Swords in reverse is just cheesed off. And then the Six of Pentacles is quite literally a monetary loss. Now, it can be a loss of stability or security, but this appears to be a romantic rival. Somebody thinks that the dissolution of their relationship had to do with you. And they are jealous of you because they feel like you're an admired person and looked up to. They feel like your dreams are going to come true. That Knight of Cups is the romantic dreamer energy. It's like they think you put an end to something for them and that everything is like your fortune's favorite. Let's keep going here. Let's get some archetype cards down here. All right. Engineer. This one, it came out in reverse, so it's likely to be the shadow attribute. The light attribute is ability to give creative energy a practical expression, the talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. But the shadow attribute is reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. I think that they view you as the person who did something very cold. And I cannot get a sense that you actually did. By the way, I cannot get a sense of why they would think you were a rival. This could be in love, or it could be like you got the job they wanted, or that you were awarded something, that you got a contract that they wanted. Because there's very much a monetary loss around this. There's very much a monetary loss around this. And there's this weird thing where it feels like they're psychic enough that maybe they're watching tarot card readings too and trying to figure out what's going on with you. But it's almost like they feel, sorry I had to pause because of my dog again. It's almost like they feel like you yanked something out from underneath them. And as if you've got them blocked somehow. Like whatever it was they envisioned for the rest of their life, like they've cast you as their personal villain. And this star energy, like it makes them angry that people look up to you. Because you really might be one of those people who, for all I know, you're the counselor who told their, partner to leave them. Rescuer. Provides strength and support to, maybe you really are. Rescuer, provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. The shadow attribute assumes the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. I think that you helped somebody see them in a different light or leave a toxic situation behind, because this is a ghosting energy. But this person is envious of you because they blame you. They also, every good thing that comes to you, they feel I don't want to say they don't think you're deserving, but they think karma's going to get you. Because I don't think they've assessed your motives correctly. If they have, it's only been very recently. If they have, it's only been very recently where they're starting to gain perspective. But this person, oh my goodness. They wouldn't have put you out if you were on fire, that type of energy at first. And I have no third party vibes. I have no entanglement. I have no reason to believe that you actually got in the way of what I believe was a relationship. Although there's no cups except for the Knight of Cups, it does appear that they feel like you took away their security. We have Empress status, black magic, holy moly. They really might have tried to do something to you, but this is being safe afterwards. It's like if they tried to do anything towards you, your intent saved you. Your intent, like apparently whatever they think you did, like you didn't do, like for the reasons that they thought you did. If you advise somebody to leave them or not hire them or whatever it is that they think that they lost that provided them security, your intent actually looks very good with that rescuer. I don't think they're right, but they had something, real love, sucker free, not done in the middle. Ancestral healing and message. I do not have a curse card on this, but like that black magic actually, they, honest to goodness, I think they thought that they were in a better situation than they were. And they're envious of a lot about you, including how you are perceived by others. You might be very physically attractive. I'm gonna shuffle. I'm gonna take that one as well, but that one was just in the last reading. The time of guilt and shame ends now. They thought you were guilty of, I think, doing something that disrupted their own security, caused them to have a loss. I cannot tell if it was a person because, like I said, this, except for this dreams coming true type of energy in multiple areas, there's like no love. There's no love here. But they were really honked off for a while and genuinely might have tried to curse you, quite frankly. It looks like it might have been a heartbreak curse. Did it land? Oh, I don't know. It does not seem to have done any real damage to you because I think you're doing fine. Huh. I keep shuffling this deck, but this guy, well, maybe it's the nature of the reading. The love of your dragon reaches out to you. The realm of your truth is opening up. So your power is what they envy. This is one of the few times where it's kind of like, well, I might be dealing with a bunch of practitioners here with the Ace of Wands in reverse, the black magic card. Don't have a magician on this. But it's like they tried to karmically curse you and it did not stick because you were not doing what they thought you were. Like your personal power protected you. The time of guilt and shame ends now by, it was blocked by your own power. And that is the thing. Listen, you can go absolutely, you know what's to the wall, trying to curse the heck out of somebody, but if they were not really the architect of your misfortune, then basically it just like, you don't even need to do return to sender work is what I'm saying. Your intent will protect you. If you're truly innocent of wrongdoing towards somebody, like it might reach you a little bit, but it can't do what it's intended to, and eventually you'll simply be protected by your intent. And that person will be stuck with that karma. Have they had a realization around that? I don't know. We're going to get some more tarot on that. We're going to keep going here. But this person either viewed you as a rival in love or in business. It's like you advise somebody to peace out on them, to leave them. Sudden progress and change, learning and training, end of a learning phase, dominating relationship, aha, craftsmanship. That's why it ends on such a positive note. Okay, listen. I don't think you're ever going to end up friends with this person, but whatever relationship that got left behind, there's something wrong with it. Like it was toxic potentially from both sides. And they may have been healing for a while. Like they may have realized that it was a non-reciprocal relationship or it didn't contain as much as they needed. But it's like they've been, mentoring, counsel. Here's the thing. All right, so here's what I've got. This person was jealous of you. They have either already been on a healing journey or they have commenced on one. If there was magic involved, it was blocked somehow. Their intuition started to give them, I think, different messages. And they started to think maybe it was all karmic, that they were in a karmic relationship, because I think they might have gone for counseling. And they understand now that maybe you did them a solid. Whatever they thought your motives were, they're jealous of you because of how you look compared to them, by the way. I don't know what that's about. I don't know if you have like, beautiful eyes or shiny hair or a good body or all of that. But like people like looking at you. You are admired. The Six of Wands can be that as well, but the Star can be as well because it's one of the social media star cards. Like people look up to you, service. I think they frickin' went to therapy. I think they went to therapy and are taking a little bit more responsibility for their own stuff these days. Are they still jealous of you? Well, they keep tabs on you. Relationships. Well, yeah, they went to therapy. Did the relationship survive? It does not appear to have. Courage. Loneliness. Okay. All right. Group number 3. You might be a therapist and you advised a partner or person within a relationship to leave a toxic or a non-reciprocal relationship. This person at first, oh my goodness, they have a different perspective now. That's the Hanged Man in reverse on their own losses. And like, I think potentially the health of the situation. They're in a happier and healthier energy now. But I really think that it took counseling. That they really, like, they were, like, they might have gone for counseling because the level of anger they have at you is, like, even if it's not healthy, it's almost like they were able to recognize that it's not healthy. Let's keep going. 1 and 2. Let's get some fortune cards on this. They are jealous of the way that you look. They are jealous of the way people react to you. They are jealous of, I believe, a sense of confidence that you have. The Shield, you are safe from harm. The Chalice, rejuvenation and emotional fulfillment. The Queen, love and prosperity. Listen, the thing that you need to know is that this thing's turning on a dime pretty soon. If this person thought you were the big bad, they now are kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that happened. Because things have started to change for them. And it's like I think their perspective on the relationship that they were in, because this can be a card for death, particularly in reverse like that, I think they have begun to realize that the relationship that they were in was quite simply killing them. And I'm not sure why, but it was like killing certain aspects of themselves. And they were in it for security. And when they lost that security, like there's so much rage coming off of this. They were enraged. And like, I think attempted to harm you via magic. I don't think it was in the real world. But when it didn't work and it didn't work and it didn't work, it's like somebody else finally told them, if that person didn't mean to harm you, there's nothing you can do to them like this. Because everything in that particular magic is because you did this to me. I have the right to do this to you. That's why one of the base laws of most magics is, as long as it harms none, do what you will. As soon as you harm another, you create energetic imbalances between the two. And you were not apparently trying to harm them. We've opened up financial loss. Yeah, they did. Codependent. I'm telling you, they realized they were in a codependent relationship. New perspective. Listen to your intuition. Hey, listen. I don't think are as jealous of you. I think that they have come to view you in a different light as well. I think that they're moving towards their own dreams and in a form of recovery. And I think with that power dragon, if this is a counseling situation in particular, they're starting to understand why you are looked up to. But it's like you advised a friend or you advised, but it was not, there was no, like you weren't doing it for gain. You weren't doing it for gain. And this person has, like, they're not a bad person. but they were so angry. That Queen of Swords in reverse, honest to goodness, I think if that person had not feared being put in jail, they would have, like, at a certain point thought that they had the right to kill you because they were that angry. And instead they started having to do some work, I think, to try and deal with things. Twists and turns, planning, wisdom, achievement, challenges, intuition. The other thing I've got on this person is that they may actually just be full-blown psychic. And they've had an opportunity to really heal. They've had an opportunity to heal. I love the Knight of Cups. I like the way this ends. I like the way this ends. I have a little bit of, like, I want to say compassion for this person, even though, like, this start here, like, I'm just genuinely glad. They viewed you as a rival, but thank goodness you weren't. Because, like, they were just out of control. Gabriel, which is truth. Shemuel, which is personal power. They hated you at first. And now I think they feel better than they felt potentially ever. So, I don't know. Appreciation. Yeah, I would say that's true. Storm warning. Woman holding a coin again. I'm going to break up those cards to make sure they can't come back in that form yet again. But the appreciation, it really is, and that's that. The woman holding a coin can be a therapist because in the 3D pentacles and coins have a tendency to represent therapy. You counseled somebody. It could have been a friend. It could have been you're an actual therapist. To leave behind what appears to have been a codependent relationship, which may have involved substance abuse, because there's clarity around that star card. And then the rescuer and the engineer. This person, time of guilt and shame ends now. And then power. The way they view you now is different than they used to. Do they still have some jealousy towards you? I think so, but I think it is for, like, the way that you look or are perceived by people or are spoken about by people. Because you seem to be very admired in that. But here's something to take a little bit of heart in, is that person who viewed you as, like, the biggest creep who ever creeped now is apparently gets why other people kind of dig you, because what was the worst thing that ever happened to them turned into the best. Be fierce, be brave, do things that challenge you, search for your own sacred grail. This is the energy that they feel like you possess, and this is the energy that I think they're rediscovering them in themselves. Will this person ever be your friend? No, I do not think so. I do not think so. And why? Because, like, they would have lit you on fire with their mind if they could have for a good long time. But do you know that any animus they had towards you is either gone or is so close to gone that that process seemed very far along. Like, I don't think they make it much longer before they begin to understand that you were the engineer of their salvation, not their destruction in the long run. Group number 3, that was your reading. Take care. Be well. Hello and welcome back. If you chose pile number 4, this is your reading. We're putting the number 4 over there so you can easily fast forward to your reading if you like. And there are timestamps in the description box down below. That, I believe, is the Mist of Avalon inspiration cards. I've been using them to close out the readings, and it works exceptionally well. I did shuffle for them, so I have no idea what they say, but it's like the final thought on the reading. And I don't know why I felt called to use it for reading about jealousy and envy, but it's been working out perfectly, so it must have been the right call. So this is the Cirque de Tarot, which is going to be bringing you a 9-card predictive spread. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you want to book me for a private reading, there's a link to my website in the description box down below. And if you like the reading, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, because that helps my channel as well. Let's get going for pile number 4. Who is envious of them? Who is jealous of them? Okay, I have the 9 of Swords in reverse. What in the world? That is a weird one to open with because that's like fears being put to rest. That is something being put to rest as well. I have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Being brought in from the cold normally, finding sanctuary. We have the Knight of Wands in the upright. I have the Star in reverse. Weird, it's like somebody blames you for taking away all hope. With the Temperance card in the upright, which is a card for healing, it's a Sagittarius card. The Knight of Wands in the upright is like things happen, it's inspiration, it could be a rival in your profession. With the Four of Pentacles in the upright, which is a card of holding on to things, it's the Miser's energy. It's also a very secure energy. With the Two of Pentacles in the upright, which is a balanced state, I have the Ace of Wands in the upright. And then I have the Five of Swords in the upright as well, which is conflict. This genuinely could be somebody who feels that they're in competition with you. This is a strange one. They envy you your ability to get things done. They envy you your creativity. They envy you the way that you, like you've got some kind of flair. And they feel like as well, like they feel like they're in conflict with you. Five of Pentacles in reverse. Like you appeared on a scene and it's gotta be in work. Because it's got this like, you're not threatening their security and you're not taking their business. But they view you as a form of competition. Now, normally, the Five of Wands is the competition card, but this is the conflict. Like, there's a conflict of how you do things versus how they do things. Like, they feel like it's almost like you use a different method. Like, you've got this kind of healing energy. This is weird because you genuinely could be a healer. And the way that you do things is different than the way this person does. And knowing you or knowing about you has made them feel less hopeful. Like, I think they think you're better at something than they are, or you get a better response. Because the Ace of Wands is like that passion project that like people have a more passionate and interested response to you. And it appears to me in a creative field, but it also appears to be in a healing field. This is a card of alchemy. This is a card of harmony. It's like they were very, I think, secure in their approach to things until I think they saw things happening for you. So this really could be, don't worry, forgiveness and peace. Fives are about change. I've got a Five in reverse. I've got a Five in the upright. Honest to goodness, like I feel like they have this very settled energy. That's like settling down for the night. This very settled energy in how they approach something until it's almost like you came along and reinvented the wheel. In terms of this has to be in a professional capacity. I don't know if this person knows you personally or not. Worry, forgiveness, and peace. Like they're a big enough person, like they try not to begrudge you things. But like they see you as like somebody who, it's like you're a go-getter and they feel like they don't know how you do something. Like they don't know how you were very like innovative. There's this weird innovative energy around this. Like you took a different approach and got a better result. And it made them, you know what it is? They don't have a lot of animosity towards you, but you challenge their feeling of confidence in what they do. We have Empress status. I am gonna not, there's black magic, but I'm putting it over here because that literally just came out. These two cards came out for the last group as well, and I'm shuffling every single time. But it is like, by the way, that is being safe from black magic. But the Empress is you'll be living in the high cotton. They see you as being very successful and protected and innovative. End of a harsh karmic cycle. I am not, it's weird because it's not that they envy you success. They envy you the way in which you do things. Like you've got this flair. They envy you star quality. I think that's what it is that I think you work in related fields. I do not know if this person is known to you, but this is like you're envied in your field as being somebody who kind of makes things happen and gets things done. You take a slightly different approach to things. For whatever reason, this person was in this very settled, like, I know what I'm doing type of energy until you came along and like reinvented something. There's this invigorated energy with this. Weirdly, it did this strange energy to them where they lost a lot of security, hope, faith. It's like I feel like they thought they were guided until they kind of met you and it seems, or heard of you or encountered you. And it's like you have a clear GPS to getting things done as far as they can see. Now, is it that effortless from where you stand? It hardly ever is. But that's how they viewed it for a while. And it's so strange that those two cards came back. The King, authority and diplomacy. The Hourglass, time is of the essence. The Wolf, beware who you trust. The Mystic Circles, your abilities will be enhanced. Okay, so honest to goodness, I feel like they felt very confident in what they were doing and like they had a very settled method or practice, or they did things, and this is definitely a work energy. Do you work with this person? It is so weird, but like I have no face-to-face stuff here. Like I have no reason to believe you have ever physically met. If you know this person through work, like they only know you as another cog in the machine, or like they hear about you at meetings, or they see your work product. But like your work product is just, you made them question their own methods. They think you're better at something than they are. And they feel like you've got that kind of, I almost want to say it quality. They really thought that they had, like there's nothing left to do with that Nine of Swords in reverse. Something is put to rest. This is that feeling of an increase, a feeling of being included, a feeling of being brought in the hold. It's almost like you came along and you've got this strange innovative spirit around you. Divine Feminine, past life relationship, unexpected message, epiphany, dark night of the soul, busy and distracted. I'm going to stop there. The way you do things is different. It caused them to examine what they do. Unfortunately, it does appear to have caused them quite a bit of depression. They have no true animosity towards you. They just don't. Like the only thing that I think they believe is that things come more easily to you because of like how you are perceived by others. But this forgiveness and this peace, there's no ickiness here. Like even with this conflict card, this conflict of interest, this potential conflict of like maybe you're looking, like maybe you take their customers or something. They really thought that they had learned everything and that they were the authority. You came along and you just kind of changed the method. You just kind of changed the method. They're also like, they're very envious of how you're perceived. Like you've got that with that star quality energy and this Ace of Wands, and like it's almost like they don't have that kind of that flair, that style, that, you know, that it quality. Student. I do think they believe they've learned things from you, but like at first they didn't like that part. Like I feel like they thought they had done all their work, and then you came along and you just took things from a completely different angle and made them expand the universe, and it really caused them a lot of depression at first for some reason. We have light attributes: humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Shadow attribute is arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action. I, honest to goodness, feel like they thought they were the authority on something. And people, it gets like it either gets back to them, or they are able to see that people are more likely to react to your authority. Like you have a voice that carries for some reason, and theirs doesn't. And it might almost be literal. Like there's this perception of you that is different than their perception. Like I feel like they thought they really had put in the work to get their craft done too. Child wounded. Awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children. I'm telling you, I think you're both healers somehow. Opens the learning path of forgiveness, and then the shadow attribute is blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. I have none of that. This person, there's not a bad vibe about this person at all. But they are in a competitive field, or they feel like they're in competition with you. They envy you because of how you are perceived by others, and then because like it's like you think outside the box easily and they don't. Like they're a good student and you're a good master. Like you take the information and you are like, great, that's wonderful. How can we make it better? How can we expand on it? How can we change this view? There's just this innovative energy around this. The Empress is one of the innovative cards as well. End of a harsh karmic cycle. You didn't do anything to this person and they don't have any true animosity towards you. But you made them change how they're thinking about things. It caused a lot of conflict for them. Communication, I'm a keyword reader on this. Normally, these are healing cards. Acceptance, and then unexpected growth. You have an innovator's energy. You have a mold breaker's energy. You have like people, that authoritative energy that comes with that, you know, the king energy that we saw from the Endora deck, the unexpected growth and acceptance. I think you have done better than they have. Like if at first they thought like they don't even know what they're talking about, I think you succeeded more. And it made them start examining like, well, like, okay, maybe I should pay attention to what they're doing. And this is very much a business setting. It's the weirdest thing. I cannot get any indication that you have interpersonal contact with this person. Like, this is not a frenemy. This is not a friendship gone sour. There is no argument. There is a conflict potentially where, like, you're both going after the same, you know, potentially client base. With the star quality card and the star in reverse, they're potentially the same subscriber base. You are caught up in drama. Act to free yourself, change, and blossom again. And then re-energize in the natural world. Let your inner hunter or huntress take rest. I think that's how you would react to this. Like, if this person were to ever be like, hey, so nice to meet you. Just want to let you know that when you first came on the scene, boy, did I ever hate your guts, because, like, it's kind of, and did they know? But, like, I almost have, like, they thought they had more game than you. Like, they thought that the role was reversed, that it's like, well, sooner or later they'll catch up to me. And instead, you were like, what an interesting mold. Let me break it. I'm going to do things in this completely different way. And people just had a big reaction to you. We have family support, heavy burden. The only reason they're jealous is I think they try really hard to meet their responsibilities. And they do not wish you ill, but it's like they wish they knew how you do things, like how your mind reaches certain conclusions. And I've got this weird thing where I think they would very much like to learn from you. But it's a weird thing as well, because they're more involved, Like, I don't think you could pick them out of a lineup. Unfounded fear, major ending, new beginning, and then soulmate, which is usually like just somebody that you know, somebody in your soul tribe. It's not a romantic concept always. I think you work in the same field or for the same company. You are seen as like more of a innovator, a master, and they might be older than you because there's this experience thing, and they just thought that they had it going on, and it's not vicious. It's genuinely not vicious, but like they got depressed when you started to do well. Like it's not, and do they begrudge you success? No, not in a personal level. Like this is a weird thing, but like I think part of what makes them envious is that they can see and understand what other people are reacting to. Like every now and then they'll be like, aha, like that is an interesting way to do that. That is an interesting, take on that particular situation. You're in a competitive field. They have a lot of responsibilities, and I take it that they feel like they might lose business or respect to you sometimes, but they don't wish you any ill. Well, there's nothing wrong with this person. There's no dysfunction there. The only thing that happened was that, like, I think they thought that you were the fledgling and that they were the full-grown version of the bird. And it kind of turned out that, like, maybe you got started later or are younger, but that, like, you just are like, that's an interesting trail, but let's go blaze another one. And they don't have that energy. They have a student's energy. There are those who can study and kind of become one with a prior master's knowledge and training, and they can impart it to others, but they don't expand on it. And they don't say, what an interesting premise, but I'm taking it in an entirely new direction. You have an innovator's energy around something. And it made them question whether or not they were, I believe, any good at something. Honest to goodness, I think it's just that they have had some fears that maybe you're better at something than they are. Fill up from the healing waters of Mother Earth's sacred springs and connect to her heartbeat. Become as one energy. This is kind of a fun one because there's no warning with this. Like, the only thing is that in this person's head, like, because you're important to them, it might be very strange for you to encounter them, because they'd be like, when I first saw you, this and that, and they have these fully formed opinions. And it almost feels like they think they've participated in a story with you, and I'm not sure you've given them as much thought, if any, and I have no vibe that you actually have ever been face to face with them. So it's not a frenemy, but it's somebody who, like, watches you, compares themselves to you, and it's very much a professional energy. And it's because you do you. And they did things by a method, and it's this and it's that, and they did things in a very, I kind of want to say structured manner, and you tore the structure down and put up a different house, and it worked better, and people really noticed it. And that's just what I've got, is that as people focused on you, they questioned their worth. And they don't wish you any ill. Like, I've got that weird temperance card, that healer's card. Like, they might be in a spiritual community as well. They don't function like that. They don't function like that. But they think you're kind of cool. And that's part of it. They have that panache, that kind of, like, there's something cool about you. There's just something cool about you. That's just what I've got on that. Group number 4, that was your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. Who envies you? Who's jealous of you? Somebody in a professional capacity who just thinks you're kind of a trailblazing energy, and that, like, people focus on you more easily than they do on them. And instead of it being like, so I just like that person, like, it made them hard, like they had a crisis of faith in themselves, is what it looked like. But I think they've come around the bend. I think they really kind of want to meet you, and it's just going to be a little bit weird for you when and if they do, okay? Take care, be well. That was your reading. Hello and welcome back. This is pile number 5. I'm putting number 5 over there so that people can easily fast forward to their reading. We will check this card at the end of the reading. It's the Avalon Inspiration cards. For whatever reason, I felt like using them. We're going to adjust the camera ever so slightly for this particular reading, and it's been working out really well. So it's not about, it's not an archetype deck. It's not normally about figures, but it had the closing message for every pile so far. So this has been fun. For pile number 5, who's envious of them? Who's jealous of them? This has been a very interesting reading. Let's get going here. Who's jealous of pile number 5? Who envies them? The 6 of Wands in the upright is a card of triumph, success. It's a graduation card. Triumph over adversity. It is somebody who is admired. Hey, before I get started, please don't forget to subscribe. It helps my channel. If you like the reading, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. If you want to book me for a private reading, there is a link to my website in the description box down below. Let's go. All right, let's talk about these cards. I put them all out quickly because this is it looks like a rival. So 6 of Wands in the upright, Queen of Cups in the upright, 6 of Cups in the upright. Apparently, this has something to do with what you do for work. It could be somebody in school as well, somebody that you've excelled past. This is a card of generosity and kindness. It is a card of the past as well. You have a past with this person. They do appear to be they identify as a woman or have a very feminine energy. This is the Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio energy of the Queen of Cups. The 6 of Cups is that, again, past relationship, nostalgia. It's somebody who is fearful about the future. The 6 of Pentacles in the upright, they feel like they offered you. This is interesting to me. 2 of Swords in reverse, 3 of Wands in reverse is opportunities coming to you. It's like they think you owe them, that they helped you, that they are the reason that you've got a successful energy around you. They're jealous of that success. They're very jealous of what they perceive to be your financial stability. And they feel like, here's the thing, I feel like they were helping you with some ulterior motives to begin with anyway. You might be in similar fields and they thought they were a mentor towards you, but it was never without, they thought they were going to get something out of it. They aided you because they thought ultimately it would help them. Again, this could be school or work, simply because you're doing well with something or well enough that they begrudge that to you. However, I feel like they want to repair the relationship because they know it would be advantageous to them. They could take advantage of it. Honest to goodness, there's this purity of intent with that 6 of Cups that's interesting to me. It's also a childlike energy. There's this trust with it as well. Are they a fairly mercenary person? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. They feel like they were kind and generous to you, and that they see you as being somebody whose ship is coming in, and more is happening for you than is happening for them. Lost love, it is somebody from the past. Now, is it really a lost love? Yes, it could be. It could be. This can be a romantic card. It can be a soulmate card. Family support. Prepare for change. And then I want one more on that. Significant love relationship. It could be a romantic relationship. I would have been more likely to call it a friendship. Prepare for change, love, significant relationship. That's the weirdest thing with this 2 of Swords in reverse. It's I feel like this person might have tarot readers check you out sometimes. I don't think they're a reader. They might be, but I don't think so. But they know that you're going to have success and potentially love in your life as well, with this lover's energy and this significant love relationship. I don't think this person is in your actual literal family, but they feel like they supported you. through some changes and like maybe a mentorship energy. Like they feel like they were a guide for you. And here's the thing. There's something weird about the energy here. Like you got apprehensive about them. Yeah, vampire. Makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining, and codependency. They could be codependent, or honest to goodness, they could have just been an energy vampire. Now, this Six of Pentacles is in the upright, but the Knight of Cups is in reverse over there. It is like they thought that as things came to you, that meant if they were associated with you, you were a good association to have. This is a social media card as well. But it's a card of success and moving forward, and it's a victorious card. They feel like they helped you win something, and that you just kind of, it's weird because the only thing I've got that like gives me any pause is I feel like you chose yourself when you got a really good look at who they really were. And it's not that you think that they're evil, and they're not, but they're very self-protective in a way that like, would they sell you out? Yeah. Like it's a strange energy I've got with this person. Like they're very good at like making sure that they're just self-protective to the exclusion of like they can be unfeeling when they need to. Virgin, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit is fear of intimate union is the other. And then, or the shadow attribute, Judge. Balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power, is offering only destructive criticism, misusing business, legal, or criminal authority. I think it is a mentor at work or somebody who helped you succeed at work, and they thought that your success would benefit them more than it has. And it could be because even though you've got this like pure, innocent vibe, because there's an innocence to that Six of Cups, for some reason, I think that you saw their faults, or that when like push came to shove, that they were a little bit, because this is a self-love card in reverse, they are a little bit self-serving and draining of others. Like if they were trying to help you succeed, it's because it was going to help them. But it's not terrible. It's like this person's kind of just a regular human being, but they thought there would be an advantage. They just thought there would be an advantage. My critic, lovable, playful, healthy. These are all very, very, very good cards. But the My Critic thing, I keep getting this energy of, this is not bad. Like they're not wishing you any form of ill, but they thought they would get a bigger piece of your pie than they did. And it's, I think, because as you got healthier and healthier, like you just kind of recognized that they were a little bit wrong-headed in their approach to some things. It's not bad. It's just genuinely not bad. I think they actually tried to be very generous with you. And I think maybe that as you became clear that maybe they weren't in something for the same reasons, I think you questioned their motives. And they're not terrible motives, but they're regular motives, you know, kind of like where they do things for those they care about, but they're not, their guiding star might be, there's less generosity to their spirit than there is to yours. All right, the Hand of Fate. Forces beyond your control intervene. The Wizard. Use your skill to aid others. And then Fire. Reckless actions lead to conflict. Hey, listen, I don't have anything bad there, but the Fire and the Wizard, I think they thought you would help them more than you have. Like, as you succeeded, I don't think you feel like you're beholden to them. Because, like, here's this vampire energy and the Judge energy as well. I think you understand that somebody might have been, and it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It genuinely isn't. I kind of want to say they thought they were working from a point of this will be mutually advantageous to us. And you didn't know that. Like, it didn't occur to you that they were helping you for, well, and then this will ultimately help me. And I think that you kind of chose a different direction and chose to go on your own. And I don't think you give that person a ton of thought. I kind of just don't. They don't wish you any ill, but like they're always looking for a way to try and figure out how to like call in their chips. Like this person has this weird energy where they would absolutely like say, you know, I did this for you and I did that, but you wouldn't even have that if I hadn't told you about that. It's like they helped you, but they always assumed that you would reciprocate somehow. Self-respect, karma gave no rest to the wicked. That's that balanced scale thing. Opportunity. I want one more on this. This is Teacher's deck. Empress status has been all over this with unconditional love. So Empress status, of course, is like you're very successful, is that energy. I don't think they're wicked. I don't think they're wicked. But I think they're self-interested. Like if you, here's what I've got. They helped you with something and this person kind of waited out and realized, well, I think this person's going to be very successful and they seem like a very generous person. Surely if I make choices that help them along the line, you know, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours type of thing. Only you had no idea at the start of it that that was the nature of the relationship. Like the support that was given to you was a not freely given. It wasn't freely given. It wasn't like somebody just finding you and being like, I will mentor you and nurture you and teach you how to do things and then you will succeed. It was like you really might have gone to them for training or something. And you took a different path as you learned more. Like their path was not yours. I think you might avoid them. And like none of the cards really say this. This is the one that is tripping me out. Because the Nine of Swords is cruelty, it is fears, it is weeping, it is sorrow, it is loss, it is a loss of sleep. And it's the only truly negative card here, but it's like you saw them as somebody who was very cold at the root of it. And are they? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Apology. New love, that's a new relationship. Open up. Push and pull energy. I want one more on it. Big success. Okay, so here's this is interesting. They want a piece of your pie. Like they think you're going to be the successful person. And they kind of, do they keep tabs on you? Maybe, not as much as you might think. And they do not begrudge you anything, but they're always figuring out, how can I get some? And like they keep waiting, I think they keep waiting for you to do something. Do they feel like they're owed? I don't think it's necessarily that they literally believe that you owe them something, but like they have a hard time believing that if things go really well for you, that you're not the type of person who'd be like, and of course I will never forget this my critic, lovable and playful energy. Like it's almost, my critic can be being my own worst enemy. Like, here, I'll read you the actual power. The reason I don't read the paragraphs is going to be a little tedious, and I already know what they say. I am my own critic. Though this is not innately a bad thing, I will strive to be kinder to myself and graciously accept my constructive feedback. This will allow continued growth in all aspects of my life. Here's what I've got on this person. Like, they keep enough tabs on you to know that you're doing well, and in their heart of hearts, they think that your conscience will not allow you to not give them something. Like the help that they gave to you, even though I have this weird thing where I think you paid for it. Like I do. I think it was training. They might have taught you how to do something. And they really, like this person, they're not a horrible human being, but they keep thinking that when your ship comes in, that they will get their share. That there is a share for them as well. We got things flying all over the place. Lost in the ruins of the past, find the way into the present moment and live. And then you are experiencing a spiritual blossoming. Take a new direction. Like I said, I think you took your own direction. And be open to new experiences. And then this is the one. Listen to the eternal song of your soul. Tune into it and learn to trust it. They think you're this wonderful human being, and you are kind and you are generous. And they are a little bit, I want to say, grasping with this vampire energy. But I don't have the miser's card. But like they honest to goodness, whenever they think everything's going to go well for you, like they have this anticipation that the only thing that they're envious of is the money. Like they think you're going to be successful. But they also currently believe that like if your ship ever came in, that you check in with them to make sure they're all right, that they have everything they need. Here's the weirdest thing. I think they're right. Like, I think that you know that you're a different person and you follow a different guiding star. That they are maybe not as pure in intent as you are. You may have, in fact, judged them and found them to be a little bit wanting, but not a lot. And in your heart, you're this very fair person with that balanced scale, and the karma gave no rest to the wicked, where, like, if you had excess, no matter what this person might or might not have done, which I don't think in the long run you respected them a great deal for who they were as a person, I still think that, like, if, like, you had a giant windfall of money, there's somebody that you would check in with to make sure that they had enough. Pride, grief, relationships, and then honesty. Blame and fear were next. They don't seem to have anything to do with this. I'm a keyword reader on almost everything. Pride, it's a dead relationship currently, but they might have been, it's almost like they feel like they were your only friend for a little bit. Like you were the only person. And that apology energy, like they keep enough tabs on you to figure out when they can guilt you. Just a little bit. Like if they're calculating enough, because this can be a calculating energy, to kind of like bide their time, wait and see. And if like you begin to succeed wildly, like you're going to hear from them. Just wondering how you were doing. Oh, we're fine. Lost the house type of thing. They'll do that. They'll hint. Here's a weird thing though. Like then you'd say, oh wow, what can I do to help? Because you have gratitude towards them, even though you went in a different direction. I think ultimately you didn't have a lot of respect for the reason that they did things. I think they're more interested in the money. But I think you have genuine good feelings towards this person. Always not a romantic relationship. I just really don't think so. The garden and the gate. A woman holding a heart, which is the exact same energy as that, with angel of strength and then archangel Metatron. They honest to goodness think when everything is in a healthy energy. My neighbors have these little kids and they're outside like playing some wonderfully screamy game. I hope it's not disrupting you. I think it's adorable, but they think that you will help them when you are in this wonderful thriving energy. And here's the thing, group number 5. They don't really envy you. They're a little bit jealous of you because of some things that are happening for you, but it's a nice mild energy on this. This is a everyday type of greed type of thing, just that somebody who has to look out for themselves. I don't think they're an out and out cheat or a liar, but they wait and they bide their time because they really do. As soon as your ship comes in, they really do expect you to give them a share. And at that point, would that become a more bitter relationship? Yeah, but here's the thing. I don't think they're wrong that you would say, yeah, you know what? Couldn't have done this without you, even if we went in our separate ways. Couldn't have done this without you. What do you need? What can I help you with? And like, that's why their envy never gets very far off the ground. Like, they know you've got a good heart. And they know you would help them. Reflection, property, signs. They watch, commitment, and then sunshine. Here's the thing, I'm a keyword reader, which means these little paragraphs, I love these cards. They can practically speak in sentences to me. The paragraphs have never meant anything to me as far as I know. Like I've read them on occasion. The keywords have validity and the paragraphs do not. They think that when your ship comes in, when you harvest everything that is your due, that you will give them a share in the bounty. And so the envious jealousy thing is a little bit, they want you to succeed, but they want their share. And here's the thing, I think you're going to give it. I have no reason to believe that like this lovable and playful energy, like you have a fondness for them, even if you're like, yeah, they're a little screwed up in the way, but it's almost like you do. You have this family support, significant love relationship. Whoever this person is, even though they are not perfect, you have true affection for them. And I think you really might view them as having like suspect motives sometimes, but you know that there's some validity to how much they may have participated in helping you figure something out and you would help them. So the envy is interesting. It is expectation as much as anything. On your soul's journey, you need to lose yourself so that you can find yourself, follow your dreams. Just keep following your own guiding star. I don't know if you always took such a peaceful view, because I think it might have been with that Nine of Swords energy. It might have been distressing to you when you began to understand, oh, this person's helping me to help themselves. It might have been, but you're like enough of a, like you can get it. It's like, it's a tough world. It's a tough world. And if that person ever came to you for help, I'm not positive that it would even take that though. I think if your fortunes increase to the extent where you're like, I have enough to splurge, enough to share, and enough to save, you're the person likely to ring their doorbell and be like, hey, is everything okay? Do you need anything? Because you do have gratitude. And at the heart of it, they know that's who you are. Interesting one, because would that turn on a dime if you like were suddenly rolling in the clover and you've pretended you didn't even know their name? Probably. But they know you well enough that they know that that is not likely. Group number 5, the person who's jealous of you is, they're not truly jealous of you, but they have expectations around how your success will feather their nest. Hope you enjoyed your reading. Take care. Be well.